Hi, this is Anders from In Flames, and you are watching So Fucking Cool.
Alright, So Fucking Cool here with Anders from In Flames. How you doing, brother?
Good, good. You know, excited to play. That's why we're here.
Right, definitely.
Yeah.
How's the tour been going so far?
Great. You know, spending time in Periphery and all that remains. Great people and great bands, and you know, we love being here in the US, and it's the third tour on this cycle, so you know.
Right.
It's been pretty intense since the release of the album in September.
Yeah, it's gotta be. I mean, this day and age, it's you put an album out and you gotta pump the tour up, because unfortunately you ain't making the money on the sales of the records anymore, because there's so many kids out there that are just gonna be like, download.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's part of it, you know. But at the same time, it's, you know, I mean, yeah, money of course, but you have to love what you're doing and being out here doing this, and otherwise it's a drag.
Yeah, right. Yeah, definitely.
So, and the fans in America has always been good to us in Flames, and love being here. But it's been extensive. We've done Europe, Asia, Australia, and then 3 times over here. Now after this we go straight back to Europe and do the whole festival circuit over there in the summer. So yeah.
It's always got to be a good time doing the festivals.
Definitely. I mean, and the festivals are super easy. You don't sound check. You have big stages and all, you know, bunch of bands that you like to hang out with as well. So it's like a big party.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. It's got to be a little change up from the monotonous of touring. You know, I mean, every day it's
sort of the same. It's sort of the same every day. You know. But the festival, I like playing festivals.
That's cool.
And we have, I mean, what we do here in America and what we do back home in Europe is quite different, you know. It's bigger stages, headlining festivals, and pyros and lights and all kinds of crap that we can't bring to the smaller club tour over here.
Right. See, it's got to be a unique experience for the American fans. They get you for an intimate setting. I mean, for your fans back home, they're probably going crazy the fact that you're playing the club shows. You know, they're used to seeing you in bigger arenas and the whole thing that's going out.
Well, I like that we get to do both, because I love being close to people, uptight, and it's a whole different interaction with the audience here than a festival stage, you know, where people are like 10 meters away from you,
right.
You know, and here it's more like you can almost touch each and every one, you know. But then again, having a big show with a lot of pyros and all that crap behind you, it's quite powerful.
I was gonna say, that's gotta be exciting too, for sure. You know, I mean, 2 different worlds. You know, I mean, it keeps you a little bit more humble, so to speak, of going ahead and playing one of these.
I think so, definitely. And even in Sweden, we tend to during every cycle, actually not downgrade, but play smaller clubs to get to, you know, not just the typical cities like Gothenburg and Stockholm, which are the 2 biggest cities.
Right.
We like to go up north and play smaller clubs, like 800 to 2,000 people, and do it very intimate. And every time we do it, it's very appreciated by the crowd.
Oh, I bet it is.
Yeah. And we love it too, you know, I really do.
Now, I've noticed one thing, that throughout the years, you guys change styles a little bit when I hear the albums that come out. Do you do that just for yourselves so you can enjoy what you're playing, or you do that because the state of rock and roll is changing dramatically from what it once was?
Honestly, I don't give a flying fuck what's happening around, really.
Okay.
Because we do this purely for ourselves, and then obviously it's great that people like what we do.
Right.
And we can travel the world and play, otherwise we'd be stuck in a cellar back home in Gothenburg, you know. But for us, it's just, In Flames always been about creating good melodies, and that's what we still try to do, but we don't want to do same thing again and again and again. And I want to challenge our listener a little bit. I want them to be a little bit unsure what that they're gonna get, you know.
Right.
But it's style-wise. I mean, we play metal, and then it's our way of heavy metal. It's not the right, the wrong, whatever. It's the In Flames way, and that's how we feel and think about our music. And there's no conscious decision going this direction. And we don't really care what's happening around us. You know, trend comes and go, and if you're like trying to chase what's happening right now, you'll be very late on the ball, because the trend passed already when you're in
Yeah,
the middle
yeah,
of it, you know.
definitely.
So fuck that. We just do what we do, and hopefully people like it. If you don't, then
Now, here in the States, I've noticed that, like, electronica is almost taking a main stage and rock and roll is taking a backstage. And I mean, I've seen
it's same in Europe. I mean, it's the same.
Is it the same over there, too?
Yeah, like this EDM thing is huge. I mean, they fill up stadiums like crazy, and all that. But you know, again, something will come, and now it's in the main stage before it was in the clubs, and it will go back to the clubs eventually again.
Right, right.
And then the big rock and roll and metal will come and take the big stages again, and so that's just how it's been. And rock and roll and metal always been there, you know.
Right, right.
So we will never disappear.
Now,
The genre.
Right, definitely. I mean, rock and roll's always going to be there,
Yeah.
one way or another. I've noticed that bands from overseas, I mean, Nightwish, Sabaton, yourself, they come here, they do the smaller shows, they go back home, they play the bigger shows. What I'm trying to ask here is, on that aspect, does America make or break you? Do you feel like you have to come here to do the things, or you just do it because you want to?
Yes or no? I mean, obviously you have a record company behind you that say, guys, you better come over here and play.
Right.
But it's not like we are saying no because we love being over here. But it's, I mean, I guess we could be without America and have a functional band in Europe and live from the music in Europe. But, you know, I want my music to be everywhere if I can, you know. It's not like I can force anyone, but I would like all the American fans be on our side, you know.
Right.
I mean, at the same time, you can have a band like you know, Killswitch, whatever, and they sell like shitloads of more albums than we do, but still the music is not that different.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I think all those fans could also, you know, be interested in Flames, and being on that side, I would love to find a band like us who have 11 albums out by now, and you hear one song today and be like, that sounds good, better check this band out, and then you realize, oh, this whole back catalogue of good fucking music.
Right,
and then,
right.
I mean, that's a band like I would like to find myself.
I mean, these days and age, I don't think you're ever going to see it, though. I mean, when these bands come out there, they're almost like a flash in the pan. Do you ever think there's ever going to be an Ozzy again or an Axl Rose? You know what I mean? There's no one at this point that I think, personally, is going to be that much of an influence years from now.
But we think that every time, I mean, and then always someone else come. Someone. There's always this band that takes it further and do something that people don't expect. That's how our music, goes into the future.
Right.
So I think there will be one or a few.
I'd hope.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Now, you just mentioned that, you know, you do have 11 albums out there. When it comes on the touring, you guys get, what, about an hour and a half, something like that? I mean, how does it go back to the point where the fans want to hear this, you guys got to play, you know, because obviously the Sirens album just came out, so you obviously got to play a couple of those throughout there and got to pepper through the hits. How do you go about picking your set list?
By now we know sort of what the majority of the fans want to hear. Then you always have the old schoolers that want to hear more old school stuff, and they have the new ones that just find out about you, you know. So we try to go back in time, and on this round we do things from Colony and from Clayman, and that's how far we go back. But then, you know, on other tours we go even further back, and it's we pick a little bit what we want, and we pick some that we think the fans want, and then we obviously throw in new stuff that we want to promote. But we can't play all new tracks or all old tracks. That wouldn't be
Right,
fair,
right,
you know.
yeah, definitely.
But I never want to become a band who solely rely on the back catalog. There are bands out there that release albums and they don't really play anything from the new one. I always want to push our music forward, you know, and
Now, when you play the bigger festivals, do you change the set list around? I mean, is it almost like a competition when you're playing with you know that there's going to be 10, 15 bands or something that day? Do you try and go all out to make sure that you're the one that sticks out that day? And
I think we stick out anyway.
Yeah, well, definitely.
I don't think there is any other band that sounds like us. Now, I don't mean, again, better or worse, but we just focus on our material, and I don't really think about what other bands do. But now, I mean, here in the States, we play, 45, 30 minutes set, which is, then you can imagine it's hard picking a set list.
Yeah, for sure.
So then you just have to go out as hard as you can, and boom, done, 30 minutes. But in Europe, it's sort of I hate the word greatest hits, but it will be some sort of,
Right.
Because you reach out, especially when we play those not only metal festivals, when you play in front of when you have pop and other genres as well, you sort of, there's your chance to break out to a different fan base as well. So then you might change it up a little bit.
Now, when you're playing an American festival and they give you an earlier time slot, and there's a flash in the pan, so to speak, that's going to go ahead and play a later time slot that day, is it kind of like a little ego check to them? But when you let them know, say, when I go back home, we're the fucking stars of the show, man. You know what I mean?
No, I really don't. Again, we are such an easygoing band. It's like you have some cold beers and some instruments, and we go out there and play, and that's it. And then we can go back to the beer again and just hang out. There's, situation. It is what it is, and we still have a good time at a festival, whether we play at 3, 4, 5 in the afternoon, or we play late at night. But obviously, I would like the American side to see what we can do.
Yeah, for sure.
Who we are, because I want a show to be something extra instead of just turning on a record and there you go. It's got to be something else, and just to have that extra show with all the lights and the pyros, and then make that, well, it makes the show special.
Now you don't carry it with you, the pyro and all the extra lighting and everything like that, but when you do a festival like tomorrow, you got Rock of the Range.
Yeah.
There's a bigger stage. Do you have it available for tomorrow, or?
No, there's no point. I think we play like 5:45 or whatever. It's bright outside, and
right, just like fuck it and just
yeah. And also, that's it's pretty expensive too to just bring it out for one show. And here the stages differ so much from night to night. If you are on a higher club or arena level, your stage, how it will look, and then easier to plan that tour, and renting the gear that you want for a longer period.
Right. And when you're playing the States and it goes from these club venues, some of the stages are here. Tonight I know is a smaller stage. Is that kind of like I had at least had this that I wanted to bring out. You know what I mean?
But now we try to say, bring in some extra light. We carry some stuff with us. We don't rely on the house, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we use any of the house lights, to be honest. So there's some extra here, and it work good.
This day and age, you guys been out for so long. Every kid out there is social media friendly.
Yeah.
How do you guys adapt to that? From being record stores,
yeah.
and you know what I mean? Kids know that they're going to go there. It comes out this Tuesday. Now it's Spotify, it's this, it's that. Like, how do you adapt to the changes that the music scene's actually gone through?
On a personal level, I don't have Facebook myself and so on. I use Instagram, that's about it. But so I don't really pay attention as much. But as a band, I guess you have to. But then you have people around you that help you. We have our Facebook. We have a guy that's controlling that, obviously without contribution, but he's more up to date with everything that's going on. And then we have our fan club, the gesture heads, who are you know, chapters in all these different countries that helps us, you know, get our message out there. But it is interesting to see what happened with the music business in general, with, you know, the digital age coming in, and because we were a band that were pre-internet.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly.
And you know, you release an album and people got to hear it on the day of the release. Now it's a competition out there to leak the album or as fast as you can. You know?
Right, right.
So for me, it's been taking out the mystique of it. But that's, again, I can't complain, and it is what it is. You have to adapt, sort of, you know, to
sink or swim almost.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and yeah, you have to be part of it. It's the game right now, so whatever, accept it or go home. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, for a band that's pre-internet, it's always got to be like, man, I gotta fucking, what's next? Like, you know what I mean? There's a Twitter, there's an Instagram, there's this, there's that. Like, what do I got to keep up with to keep
always. Yeah, it's new things all the time, but you hear it here and there. But you know, fuck, I skipped school to get my albums. You know,
right.
I had to be there on the day of the release.
Yeah,
it was a huge thing coming from the record store, and you're like, I got it, and then you saw some other friends who were they also got it, and you felt, you know, it was just something special.
Of holding it in your hand, you know what I mean? Going through and opening it up and seeing the booklet.
Yeah,
and
put the needle on for the first time, sitting there, like, it's not so much wear and tear as it is today. I think with the music, today it's more click next, click next, click next. You know,
it's almost at a fact that this time, like, you got to make sure that you have to have not just one single. I mean, back in the day, you know, there was artists out there that said, okay, I got 1 or 2 singles, the record's going to come out, these kids are going to buy it. Mm-hmm. Now they can hear every single song before they even get an idea if they want to buy it or not.
Oh yeah. And I was about to say, also this, you know, making playlists, you know, like one song here, one song there, you don't get the full album. And we are a band that still, we don't make singles, we make albums.
Right.
I want people to listen from side A to end of side B, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
The whole way through, because one song gives the next song some dimension and dynamic, and it's supposed to lead into this next one. And I really care about our playlist, how it looks, you know. But that being said, that I like that vinyl is making a comeback, because now it seems more and more kids listen to albums again.
Right.
Instead of just listening to one song. Because when you listen to a vinyl, you take time listening to the music.
Yeah, there's a whole experience. You know what I mean? You got to put it on. You take the needle out.
Yeah.
It's just.
And also when you bought, like, I mean, you didn't have that much money. You bought 1 or 2 albums, and if you were not sure in the beginning that do I like it or not, you made sure you liked it in the end, because you listened and listened and listened and listened, you know.
Right.
So and now it's just, you don't, the intro is not good. Next one, you know.
yeah, definitely.
So, well, again, it is the climate right now, and it is what it is.
Times are changing, you know. You gotta do what you gotta do to adapt these days. Now, for the kids out there, they want to follow up with you, they want to know more, they want to know tour dates, they want to know if there's going to be a new release, they want to know what's coming out next year, with tour dates.
Yeah.
Best way to follow you guys?
Well, that would be inflames.com, I guess, and the Flames official Facebook. That's where you will see. We have all our dates at the inflames.com. We have a tour section where you can see when and where we are.
Cool. All right, man. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
Cheers.